Hello everyone, we are back with another video, and today I am going to be going through my TBR for the 2020 reading rush, which is taking place from July 20th to 26th, and the prompts / challenges were announced yesterday. So let's get straight into this. Okay, so first of all, I participated in the Stay Home reading rush, which was a special, quarantine edition that they did in April, which was 4 days long, but this is the, basic annual one that they do every July, and it's a week long. So the first thing I'm going to do is just go through the challenges, because I've doubled up on a few things, so I'm using more than one prompt for the same book. So I picked out 3, but I'm gonna go through the challenges first. So the first challenge is to read a book with a cover that matches the color of your birthstone. Now, I didn't actually know what my birthstone was until I, looked it up. And so when I look it up, October, which is my month, is, oh my god, I know the color, I just need to get the name. Pink tourmaline, so it's kind of a pinky color. It's, yeah, that one there at the bottom, October. So for this, I went with To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han, because there is pink here and also on the spine, so it's not like a pink cover, but it does have a lot of pink on it. So that's what I'm using that for. And then the next one is read a book that starts with the word the. So I actually have 1 or 2 of these, but the one I went with was The Magician's Nephew by C.S. Lewis. Now, this is the first book in the Chronicles of Narnia series. Did I even mention this was by Jenny Han? I'll get back to that in a minute. Which is popular enough. And this is a really short book, so that's good as well. And then the next prompt is to read a book that inspired a movie you've already seen. So basically the idea of this prompt is that you've seen the movie, but you haven't read the book. So again, I'm going with To All the Boys I've Loved Before, because I did watch the first movie before I knew it was a book series, and then I decided I'd like to read the book. So I'm also using To All the Boys for that prompt as well. Okay, the next one was kind of a bit weird to do. It took me definitely a minute or 2, which is to read the first book you touch. Now, this kind of sounds confusing, but it can really be done anywhere you want. But basically, I got up like this, and I basically had my eyes closed, swung my hand around, and whatever, like that, and whatever, book my finger landed on was the book that I was going with. So it actually, I'm gonna be honest here, it landed on Skulduggery 4, which I just read in October, so I thought might as well just read 5, because it's basically, the best way I could do that, so, if that makes sense. So, Skulduggery Pleasant, Mortal Coil by Dark Landy, which is the 5th book in the Skulduggery Pleasant series. Now, this series is really popular over here in Ireland, and I believe the UK as well. It is written by an Irish author, and it is massively popular over here. In the States, it's barely known. I know they've just started moving them over to America. But yeah, I live in Ireland, so I've been familiar with this one for quite a while. I'm slowly reading this series. I read the first book in 2015. I read the second one in 2017. Then I read the third one in 2018 and the fourth one 2019. So I've really been, kind of just going through them at my own pace. And now I'm reading the next book. Yeah, because I read the fourth one, Dark Days, which is probably my least favourite of the series so far, even though it did have some things I liked about it. But I have high expectations for this one. The last book ended on cliffhanger, so I've been thinking about that ever since. I think what I want to do before I read this one is to reread the last chapter of the book before this one, just so I can, kind of remember where we were before I continue, because this book series is kind of like an ongoing story type thing that, continues into each other, so that's that. And this one is the biggest one of the Skulduggery Pleasant series, yeah, but the font is small enough, so that's that. And then the next book is to pick a book that, to read a book completely outside of your home. So I think what I'm gonna do for this is I'm either gonna read I don't think I can even read it in my garden either. So I'm thinking I might read it in cafes when I get a chance. If I'm there, I don't even know if I will be. Or just outdoors or anywhere outside of my home. Like my auntie's house, wherever I am, read this one. So I'm going to be using Chronicles of Narnia for this one as well, because it is really short. And, if I'm out and about, then... if I'm trying to read this one outside of my home, I'll definitely need a short book. So that's why I'm using that one as well. The next one is to read a book in a genre that you've always wanted to read more of. So I tried to work this one into it. I do read a lot of fantasy, so I didn't go with the genre thing. Instead, I'm kind of twisting my way around this one. Because I do want to read more books by Irish authors, because, Ireland is my home country, and I would like to read more. That's why I purchased Maeve Binchy, which I've still to read. Lord God, I know. So that's what I'm doing with that one. And then finally, read a book that takes place on a different continent than where you live. I live in Europe, and this, of course, Latin America, so it's a different continent sector. Yeah, so that's that. I'm going with this one as well. So, yeah, I picked 3 books because... these are the 3, because most of the time when it comes to the reading rush it is, or just any readathon in general that I participate in, I usually set out a TBR that is usually never gets fully read. Most of the time I will read a couple of the books and not get through it all. So I wanted to pick an obtainable goal. Now, I know from doing Spookathon last October that I managed to read 2 books in a week for that one. The first was 200 pages, which I read in 2 days, and the rest took me the rest of the week, which was 430. But I was in school that week, so that's why I wasn't reading as much. And since, I'll be off school for this readathon, it is week long, 7 days. I picked 3 because I know I can read 2, which short one and a long one, say something like this or this. So this book is kind of, your average size book. This is a short one, and then this one's a longer one. So just for comparison, To All the Boys is 421 pages long, and this is the font size, so it's actually not too bad. Then Skulduggery Pleasant is pretty long. It's 566 pages, but the good thing is, since it is a children's book, which I've always questioned the fact that Skulduggery Pleasant is a children's series, just because there is a lot of really dark and violent things throughout the series, from what I've read so far anyway. But the font is big, so it's pretty big font. And then Chronicles of Narnia is pretty small font, but there's illustrations, and it's a really short one. It's 220 pages, so not too bad. I'm happy with this TBR. My plan for this reading rush is to get through all 3 of the books. I need to win this reading rush, even though Ariel and Raylene have stated a lot. They were the hosts, of course. Did I even mention that this was hosted by Ariel Bissett and Raylene the Main? Yeah, go subscribe to the Reading Rush channel if you're interested, or whatever. But, they do say that it's not about winning, just participate. You can read 30 pages and they'll be happy. that's basically what they said. But yeah, that is gonna be probably it for this quick video. I just wanted to get this up today. I have some new videos coming soon. I just finished Lord Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda on Wednesday. Ouch, my tongue! I just bit my tongue. Wednesday, because I didn't read anything yesterday because I was out and about. But so I'm gonna try post a review for that because I did tab it, so, and I'd like to post a review for that maybe at the weekend, maybe on Monday. I don't know when it'll go up yet, but this video will be up the day I'm filming it, which is Friday. The day, yeah, because the Reading Rush announcements were finally announced. Like the challenges. So I'm just so excited for the Reading Rush and, you know, everything that comes with it. I just really enjoyed the stay home one. It was my first time doing a Reading Rush. I'm just really excited to, you know, read lots, see how everyone else in the community is doing, participate in the Instagram live readings, just all that stuff, and it's just such an amazing way for everyone in the book community to come together and just read. So, you know, I'm just really excited, and be sure to let me know down below if you are participating and what your TBR is. I'd love to know. But yeah, thank you all for watching this video, and I shall see you all very soon.